All right, there we go. Hello everyone, how's it going? Team here, and this is BxJS livestream. And today we are going to be jumping into the React server components that were actually announced while I was away from the whole YouTube business on December 21st. But this is one of the topics that I am very excited about. Like, this is, I think, going to be pretty life-changing for, well, doing a lot of things with React, honestly, and I think is gonna have a pretty big impact on Next.js specifically, because, this is what I'm basically using. So we're gonna be diving in and checking out how exactly it works. I have a few things I wanna test out myself, so we're probably gonna be focusing on the official demo, but maybe we'll try to use it with Next.js as well, because essentially what you have to do to use it now is just add a specific Webpack plugin, which is something you can do in Next.js, and then use the latest version, experimental version of React, right? So, first of all, hey Aaron, welcome to the stream. Hey Nos, welcome to the stream. Hey Swirlo, welcome guys. All right, second of all, what is React Server Components? Well, if you ever used any modern framework, you know that a lot of them basically support server-side rendering, right? And this is the thing that has been around for quite some time now, and pretty much everyone agrees that this is the way to go if you need a good SEO, if you want your code to be, fast enough for the users, if you want to provide the pages that render immediately instead of waiting for the whole JavaScript to load. So there's a lot of benefits to it, basically, right? But there's a bunch of caveats, because when you render on server, you don't really have access to, well, quite a lot of features that are only available in the browsers. There's obviously ways to polyfill that, but it's not exactly convenient, right? And not always needed, actually. Like, rendering graphics on the server is just not required, because you're going to re-render them in the browser anyway, right? So React Server Components is basically server-side rendering, but for the component subtrees, which is mind-blowingly awesome in my opinion. So there's essentially a really big presentation over here from the React team. I think it's like about an hour of talk. Yeah, so it's like 57 minutes. Very in-depth. There's a lot of cool details. There is a walk through the demo that we're going to be having a look today. There is technical details. There's basically a description of why they came to this, how they came to this, and so on and so forth. So if you are interested in React, I would highly recommend looking through the presentation. I think I already mentioned that on the Discord that we have. But anyway, I'm not going to be talking about all of that stuff. I'm going to be basically checking out the demo and looking at some implementation-specific things that I'm just curious about, basically. Hey Marco, welcome to the stream. Hey NoobG, welcome to the stream. All right, so yes, this is basically the gist. Again, server components essentially just server rendering for the component subtrees, and there is a server components demo that is using the custom version of Create React App that basically does the server rendered components. Now, another note that I think also was mentioned in the video, that the official video that they provided, is basically the server components is a very low-level primitive that majority of time you as an end user of React as a developer will not be touching, right? So this is actually something that is there for the framework developers, for people who build Create React App, for people who build Next.js, and so on and so forth. So you are only going to be using the very user-facing, developer-facing, I guess, API of that, which, in my opinion, is great, and it's really cool that the React team basically does something like this. Hey, full stack Greek developer, welcome to the stream. All right, anyway, this is, as I said, the demo that was provided officially. So this is, not stable, not ready for adoption. There's like a bunch of caveats here, only works with Node 14 LTS. And yes, this is the custom version of the Create React app. Okay, it seems like it also requires the Postgres. I think we can safely throw that away from there and see how that goes. But we're basically going to be starting with that. If we have enough time, we're going to be jumping into the basically trying to set up Next.js with server components. I'm guessing there's probably somewhere a version that already works, so we're probably going to steal some code. But yes, so I guess we're going to start with just cloning that and just checking out what do you mean process exited? Who closed my VSL? Okay, let me reopen another window. Yeah, okay, so my VSL just decided to shut down. That's fine. Let me make it a bit bigger. There we go. GitHub building Next.js. So I already created a repository and a folder, but I guess it's a better idea to actually just clone the server components demo and then just modify. I mean, maybe I should have forked it, but you know what? Let's just let me think for a second. So I can actually move it. So if we are gonna get to the Next.js part, I think it's gonna be a good idea to basically move the server components demo into React server components, right? So this is the repo that I created. And just kill the git from here. There we go. I think that should do it. So let me just, yeah. If I add all of that. Okay, there's our demo files. Yeah, okay, cool. So git commit. I'll just commit it right away. Add React, what? No, React server components demo. Let's call it official React server components demo. Okay. So I'm just gonna add it as a subfolder, basically. I don't wanna make it overly complex. We're just gonna go with that. Okay, there is my VS Code. No, that is not what I want. There we go. Now it looks good. Let me make it a bit bigger for you. Let me have a look at the chat. I believe the React server components is the hottest 2021 technology. Well, so far, yes. I think there was nothing more exciting, at least for me. But we're gonna see, 2021 is just starting. The only thing that I dislike about server components is that you will have a Node.js server running cra. I mean, you need some server to render them, right? So it's like, again, this is a low-level primitive, so I think at some point we're gonna see non-JavaScript servers doing that as well. It's just a question of basically whether there are enough users of the other, I don't know, Ruby, Python, or whatever, and if they want to have that kind of technology. But I definitely think we're gonna see those at some point. Okay, so they're saying Node 14. I have Node 15 here. Let's see if that actually works. So I'm using Node 15 with npm 7, and sometimes it doesn't quite work out. We're gonna try and see if that actually works now. I mean, npm 7 had quite a few updates now, and it's a lot more stable than before. So maybe this just works out of the box, which seems to be the case. All right, so let's have a look. So we got our server over here. What does this do? So this is our, this is this React server DOM Webpack. That is the thing that basically does pre-rendering, right? So we got Express server, which is pretty basic. There's the error handling, that is boring. There's the HTML stuff. There's the wait for Webpack. Render React tree. Okay, so I guess this is what does, no, that's not it. Okay, there's a send response, React, okay. Notes, right. So, okay, so there is some methods that, this seems like an API, right? So there's the pool query. So what is the pool? Where is this coming from? This is the new pool, which is PG. Okay, so this is the Postgres pool that basically, so this is the API routes that create, delete, update nodes, which is, again, I guess we don't really want that. Okay, do we want to, I guess we can just delete all of that ourselves. What is this sleep MS and why do we need that? Okay, so we can actually just kill the nodes thing, right? Because we don't really care about that. So nodes is, okay, yeah, sure, fine. So let's kill the nodes. We're gonna refactor the app to remove the Postgres from here, basically to figure out, because I'm not interested in the Postgres side, right? It's just like, hey, interacting with the backend. I'm more interested in the React part itself, right? So there's a few questions I want to answer for myself as to how exactly it works and what it does. So there is, okay, pool. I removed the pool, right? No, I didn't. Okay, there's our pool thing. We can kill it. Don't keep credentials. Yeah, we're not gonna keep credentials. Okay, so there's the pool. Why are you not? Oh, I guess my ESLint is, they don't have ESLint here or something. Okay, so we got the nodes path. We can kill that. ESLint, you are, is there no ESLint config? There is no ESLint config. Okay, that's why it doesn't work. I see. What are we building for the demo? We're basically just gonna be, so there's like basically a couple of things I wanna figure out how they work and how exactly does the server components interact, right? So there's the, for example, a couple, I believe that was shown in the demo, but I honestly don't remember, that you can basically swap the client components, right? So I'm curious as to how that is done in the front end. And then the second part is how the updates look to the server components look when you actually basically see the diffs or whatever the server send, right? So I'm guessing the server actually sends the VDOM diff, right? So it just does the renders the new component, then gets the, probably persists the current tree somehow on the server. That's also a question, like how do they do this? Okay, anyway, coming back. So we got this node register, we killed that. So there's the Babel, there's the compression FS writer. Okay, so there's the server. Right, so it seems like this is just, do we even need that server? So we got the build, index, resolve, wait for Webpack. So this just seems to wait for the basically index HTML to be present in the build folder, right? Yep, exactly. So this, do we even need that? Because it doesn't seem like it does anything. Doesn't seem like we need this server at all if we're not going to be using the, what do you call it? The Postgres, right? So I guess we can kill that. Now, where was it? So credentials, again, we don't need that. We can kill this file. Now, where is our entry point? I guess, okay, there's a nodemon, and there is React server scripts build. Okay, so starts. Okay, it does npm run server and npm run bundler. Okay. So run server is something we don't, do we? I mean, I guess this React server is the React scripts thing, right? So I'm curious, because there was the folder was called server, right? So unless it does that, here's the question. Scripts, maybe it is in the build script. Build, production, webpack. Okay, so there's our React Server DOM plugin that basically does the building, I believe. And doesn't seem like it requires the server anywhere. That's interesting. Is it the seed? Credentials. Okay, so this gets, okay, this seeds the database. Again, something we don't actually need, so we can kill that. We can kill initdb as well, because we do not need that. Public is public, it's fine. We do not need nodes anymore. We're going to be simplifying the app quite a lot, actually. I mean, maybe it would have been easier to just start from scratch at this point, but you know what? Let's commit to whatever we're doing. Right, so we got the Docker file even here. That's quite nice. Okay, anyway. So we did that, and what does the demo actually says? So npm start. Okay, so let's try running npm start and see what errors do we actually get. Whoa. Permission denied. What is, wait a second, server. What is, what the hell is server and where do I have that? Server not found. Then why is it, what? Okay. Scripts builds, right. React server. So I guess React server is the binary that they provide, right? React server DOM webpack, or maybe not. What is this React servers thing? npx React server. No, cannot. Okay, so that's not a command. So where's this? Oh, it's conditions. Okay, so this is something different. So what is this condition thing? Where does it go? So we got the nodemon, right? And does nodemon has conditions flags? Let me have a look at the chat. The good thing is that the developer is absolutely free to choose which part of his code will render on the server and which part will render on the client. Yes, absolutely. Like one of my biggest gripes essentially with Next.js is that it's a bit finicky to, you know, balance the server-side rendering with client-side rendering, because there's like essentially hacks you have to do to say, hey, I actually wanted this component to render on the client side, right? And server rendered components basically give you a way to say, hey, render this on server and then everything else on client, which is freaking awesome. Okay, so we had this let's, no, wait, what was the conditions? Conditions, what is conditions? Okay, do we even need that server? Here's the question. Maybe we do not need the server, right? So maybe I can just kill that. I can just say npm run bundler dev and npm run bundler prod. Maybe that's enough. So we don't need the server thing and we don't need the seed thing, right? Let me see. So what do we have here? I think that should do it. Question npm start. Okay. Clean exit, waiting for changes. Right. So, oh, does it not serve? Wait a second. Did I kill too much? Okay. Git checkout head server. Let's see. Did I kill a bit too much? Let me revert that stuff. So does this server not just basically build it, not just having the API, but also serving the index.js, right? So this is the problem, I guess. Okay, which means that we do not, in fact, need the API bit, but we do need everything else, basically. Okay, got it. Right, that makes sense, I guess. Okay, yeah, there you go. There's the static folders for build and public. Okay, cool. That makes perfect sense. I was thinking like there doesn't seem to be like separate webpack config or anything like that. So I guess this is the custom server that actually serves the app. Okay, makes sense. We don't need that. Okay, is that gonna work? And something crashes. Okay, what is the error? Cannot find module credentials. No, not here. Where is the credentials coming from? Source app. Is it from the from somewhere here? Okay, you know what's credentials? We can just search for it, right? Docker compose db server, right? So there's our db server file that does, I guess this provides access. There's even a React PG thing. Okay. So I'm gonna export db as the object for now because I imagine some other functions try to call that. All right, cool. So we got now localhost 4000. Right, okay, so we're gonna obviously get other errors, but it seems to be working finally. Donna, thank you very much for your donation. As usual, highly appreciated. All right, let's kill the, okay, let's stop that. Let's kill the server. Let's, I guess, finish killing the server stuff. And there was the db.server, right? There we go, so nodes list, we can do that. And there is our db, yeah, okay, so we can kill this, we can kill this. Obviously, we're not gonna get any nodes working. It seems like there was only one mention of that, which is good. So you can start this. In theory, it should be working, right? And we should get our, well, empty nodes obviously rendered. Nodes is not defined. Okay, fair enough. I guess I killed too much. API server, no, that's not it. There we go. I guess we can just say, whoops. And just say here that nodes are empty array, right? Right, that's probably should be const nodes. Where is my, there we go. There we go. 1 a.m. Why are you not asleep, man? Come on. I don't think my streams warrant not sleeping at 1 a.m. to be honest. Okay, now it works. It doesn't have any server or anything. You know what? Let's just, I guess let's kill most of the app and then re-edit basically some bits of it. So let's see. This is our entry point, right? So we got node server, node list server. So those are server components with explicit opt-in, right? This one is explicitly clients. This one's is, I guess they're going to be server? Question mark? I don't, like, I know that Dan talked about that in the did this 1 hour demo video, but I honestly don't remember how they behave. Seems like it doesn't matter. So those are basically stateless components that don't care where to be rendered, and maybe React will decide itself. Okay, anyway, sidebar node. Okay, so this is our couldn't find any nodes. So we should see this no nodes created yet. Yep. Okay, cool. Makes perfect sense. So I guess let's see. React nodes. So I guess React server components demo. If only I could type. Does it actually have hot reload? So I guess there's no hot reloading, at least for now. Yep. So it seems like you have to like force refresh to actually get the changes, which I guess in terms of the server components makes perfect sense. So our app is a server component, which means that this stuff that we get, if I do the view source, okay, so the view source is still main.js. Wait a second, how does it work? So view source still gives us the view source still shows us the main.js, right? So where does the server rendered component come from? There's the fetch request. Is that where the server component comes from? Okay, so basically the way it works is React loads in the same way that it would typically. So without server-side rendering, you would still get the empty page at first. But once it loads, it says, hey, there's this server components that I want you to render right now, right? So I guess there's some parameters here. Location, so it sends location with, yeah, I guess some parameters. Where is this coming from? Is selected. Oh, okay, so this is actually the property. So it just basically says, hey, here's the, I'm guessing the path that it has in the URL is, okay, it's just location. Interesting. So basically it sends the properties and say, hey, give me the response for this, right? Which in this case returns the bunch of server-side rendered components and then React suspense, I guess, for the client component, which I believe we had like one here. Yeah, there you go. There's an edit button and search field. And yeah, okay. So it basically sends chunks. And then there's, oh, okay. So it splits the stuff into the chunks on Webpack and tells the React, hey, this is the component. So if you want to render the client component, here's a chunk, load that and inject it as the component. That is really neat. And if it's a server component, you actually get a VDOM that basically can be rendered directly using React. What is this S3, the suspense? Is it this one? So we got the, wait a second, there's the suspense 1 and suspense 2. So node list is server component, which means that whenever this is rendered, it's gonna have the skeleton component. Okay, so you can suspend the server components and basically wait for them to come in. And then you got this. So the node is also server. Again, this is skeleton for it. Makes sense. What is this suspense? The other suspense, and where does it come from? Interesting. Anyway, that's some interesting implementation details here, I guess. Or the, how would you put it? The back end of it, I guess. This is pretty interesting. Let me have a look at the chat. What are you thinking about module federation? Will be something buzz or will vanish? I mean, it's a very low level thing. It will definitely be used in some cases, but it's a very niche, at least, you know, from my perspective, it's a very niche thing. And you as a developer will probably not use it unless you're working on a framework that basically requires something like that. Or you're working on an in-house product that basically has like billions of different dependencies and you kind of want to federate it to make the builds faster or something like that, essentially, you know. So it's a very, very niche thing, and it definitely will get some buzz, I guess, but it's going to be very use case specific. Let's put it this way. Anyway, so we got this. Let's try actually building something, and let me see. So we got, what is the CSS that they are using here? That's a question as well. Public index style. Okay, so it's just some custom style basically, or is it custom style CSS resets? Okay, I don't know what is that, but you know what? It's fine. We don't really care about CSS right now, so we can go with React Server Components demo. Yeah, that's fine. Sidebar header, sidebar menu. Okay, so there's search and edit. That's fine. We can kill the nav for now, or maybe we do not kill. Okay, so question number 1. I am assuming server components don't actually have state, right? And this is an interesting thing, or maybe they do have state. That's so like, okay, this is the thing that I want to find out. Do server components actually have state? State, set state, use state. I assume they actually do, right? So so this is nodes and set nodes, right? So this is the thing that we say. Okay, so we say we have this nodes thing on the server side. So this is a purely server component, and if there is no nodes, we say, okay, no nodes yet created. And then we say there is I'd say there's the li thing, and then we have the button that just plus, and on click we are gonna basically say set nodes, and we're gonna set it to, so how does the node shape look? Because I will just mimic, there's a, okay, you know what, set nodes, let's just make it over here and say, hey, we have this one node, right? And whoops, what are the properties here? So we got updated at, I guess we can just use date now. We got body, we can just say hello world nodes. We got we got title, we got ID. Okay, so ID is gonna be 1. Got title, I guess this description very long, text here, something like that. And on click, we're gonna set it to 1 node. Okay, I am very curious as to must import to load ES modules. Wait a second, what? Okay, let me restart the build. Is that the problem? Okay, what is happening? I didn't really change much, right? Okay, are you not happy about my function here? Oh, wait a second, is that because yes, right, so import, I think I need to import use state from React, right? Because this is something that, even though you now get React in the what do you call it, even though you get React in the top level by default, now you still don't get all the functions from it. Must use import to load ES module. React Babel runtime slice to array type module. So why are you all of a sudden complaining? Wait a second. So if I remove the use state, it starts working, right? Does that mean it doesn't support state on the server side? Okay. I guess it's time to dive into the RFC itself and check out. Maybe I forgot the part where they said that it actually doesn't have the state. Motivation, yeah, okay, that's fine. Drawbacks. Introducing new form of components must learn state. Server components preserve client state when reloaded. This means that the client state focus or even, okay. No, craft intentionally loading states. Yeah, okay. They can't use, yeah, okay. So they can't use states or effects. Right. That makes, you know, it makes perfect sense when you think about that, but maybe they came up with some crazy magics like they did before to actually allow this to work, right? Which means that we should be able, instead of doing that, we should be able to just say this, right? Search text, I think it was, yeah. Okay. So, right, there we go. So if we pass it components, right? So there's our, sorry, the nodes. First of all, let's change the app from server to action. No, do we want to change it to server? And yeah, let's make app the client side thing, right? Means this will change how the app is loaded. I guess it's, yeah, whoa, app server. Oh, okay. Well, maybe, okay, maybe let's not change the app itself. Let's change the node, how the node structure. So we got this node list. I guess let's create nodes manager. Let's call it this way. And then we're just gonna take this thing and paste it over here. And then let me copy some component that should be very simple. Is there something like super? Yeah, there we go. seems about right. I probably don't need the whole, nope. Probably don't need the whole header here. So yes, this is no longer Facebook copyright. Maybe I should, no, I mean, I would rewrite all of that, right? So we don't need that. We do need the suspense and we do need the node list. So we do this. Okay. And then this is gonna be node manager, which not gonna take anything. And this is gonna be the, wait a second. I need to make it client explicitly, right? Client, and it's gonna have nodes set nodes, and this is gonna be state. Why is there no auto imports from React? I have no idea, but okay, I can do that self. And then nodes is gonna be nodes, right? So there we go. Okay, cool. So in theory, yeah, we need to replace it over here as well. So we need to import node manager from node manager client, right? And then we need to put it over here. And we also, okay, so this search text has to be passed down, I guess. There we go. So we put it over here. We save this. And wait a second. I actually need those two components inside of this node manager, right? There we go. Okay. I think that should compile. And we should now have this very nice, but no, application error. Search text is not defined. So where, oh yeah, right. Of course, I deleted it from here while it actually should have stayed there. Oh. So now it should render correctly, right? Nope, suspense is not defined. Wait a second. Oh, I need to import suspense from React as well. Okay. Makes sense. I forgot that there was an actual React class. Okay, come on now. Right, so this works now, right? And theoretically, if we, so I guess in our case, we want this new button to be in the node manager. Maybe we should just put the whole, this whole thing over there, right? So this goes here. And then we can just wrap it in a React fragment. Okay, and then we need to kill all of this. Whoops, that's too much. And we need this search field, and we need the edit button. So we're going to change how they work a bit, basically. We need to throw them over here. If you reload, that is basically should look the same. Okay, but this new button does the creation. Okay, so this obviously is going to error out because right now the new button tries to, or I guess it's not the new button itself, it's actually the nodes editor. There we go, there's the client editors. Yeah, so it's on save, it actually tries to do a post request, which obviously errors out, right? But in theory, we could wire up this post request to go back here to the global state, for example, and then node manager would actually pass it down to the client, which is kind of like, I really like that. This gives some very cool possibility, like opens some very cool possibilities. Again, so I guess there's nothing really different. Yeah, so the way the other components render, so whenever you ask the server to render, it basically either gives you a VDOM or gives you a chunk and saying, hey, this component is actually coming from this chunk, so just load that, or a set of chunks actually, which is quite interesting. Okay, that seems straightforward. That is, I guess that actually answers all of the questions I've had in regards to that. Let me git add, git commit, basic Postgres removal plus some tests. This, you know, basic stuff. Whoops, I totally screwed up my passphrase. All right. Let's try to do the Next.js. Make dir Next.js server components. Because, again, theoretically, this is just a Webpack extension, right? npm init -y. Hey, Mikhail, welcome to the stream. My love, React server components versus SvelteKit. For me, it will be SvelteKit. What is SvelteKit? SvelteKit. That is something I have not seen yet. Attended 12 summits. When will Sapper reach? Oh, that was the. But I mean, that doesn't really do the same. Like, it basically it's not the same as the server components, isn't it? Unless I'm missing something. So SvelteKit is sort of the replacement for Sapper, which is the Next.js for Svelte, right? I think so, at least. And SvelteKit, while it's really cool and it's a roll-up plugin, basically, it's not really. It's not comparable, basically, right? Anyway, let's try to do this. Try to do this with Next.js now. So that's the fun part. Okay, so I probably should close this and open this folder now. So we got the package JSON. Now, what do we need? Wait, so React server components Next.js. Is there already someone who did? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's already someone who did that, right? Basic feature pages, advanced import, Next.js by Vercel. Server rendering. Okay, there's a write-up on how that works. Automatic code splitting. Blah, blah, blah. Explaining them. No, that's not it. Next. There we go. There's official Vercel demo even now. Experimental demo of React server components with Next.js. Okay, cool. So I don't even need to invent anything. We can just clone this thing and try it out. Okay, cool. So RMRF, Next.js server components, git clone. So you can clone this thing and be like come on now, Next.js server components. There we go. Okay, cool. So we got this thing. Yes, please reload the directory. Right. So what do we need? We need npm install as usual. Again, question is. Oh, right. I'm not in the right folder. I was like, why is 0 packages installed? Vercel demo is cool. Okay, we're gonna see. All right. So there's some issues with dependencies. I guess that's the Next.js. Yep. Okay. So I have to switch to the node 14 with npm 6, but this is not a big deal. So again, this is the npm 7 resolution algorithm basically breaking because of the one of the peer packages requires older version of React. Also, the fact that I think the React server components uses suspense, that means they will come out together with the concurrent mode, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so let's have a look at the package JSON. So what do we have here? Additionally, we got, well, it's the experimental version of React. We got the React fetch and React server DOM webpack. So I guess this is the basically most important bit, right? Okay, and then the config, I imagine we just modify the webpack to throw in this React server webpack plugin. It also seems like there's some React copy, React client manifest, whatever that does. Oh, that's, okay. Okay, so I guess you need to also copy this manifest thing that it generates, question mark? I'm not sure why this is done here, but I guess it's again related to the new Webpack plugin, because otherwise just the plugin would be sufficient. And if you note here, we are now running React in concurrent mode, which again means that this is going to be coming out together with concurrent mode, which is super neat. Okay, which means we can do npm run dev probably, right? Yes. To start the next server. That is like a lot faster than the official demo, but I guess that is the Next.js for you. Is it 3000? Yes, it is. Okay, application error. Is it uses the ages index, root components. Okay, okay, so it's basically literally the same demo with the same. Okay, so they just rewritten the demo using the Next.js, and there's like the API routes and the database and everything else. Okay, cool. That makes perfect sense. But I guess it works in the same way, right? So we had the root client. Okay, so the root is actually client in their case for some reason. And we got this cache client. Okay, so they even added some caching, like fancy stuff here. Context provider. Okay, so what are those things and why are they here? I guess this is what the React sets up. No, that doesn't seem React specific. This is just a custom context, right? So we got this thing here. And then we got the, okay, so this is the suspense setup, right? And then there's the content, which is this location provider. And then the root, response, use serve. Okay, so this cache client. Okay, so this is the specific bit that actually does the whole work, right? So there's the React server .webpack. And yeah, okay, so there's basically a bit more setup needed for Next.js. But again, this is the, speaking, this is the low level API of React. You actually, as a user, will never see that. This is going to be done by framework, which, okay, that is a bit more work than setting up your own Express server, I guess, but still not too much, which is kind of cool. Essentially, this handles the rendering on the server and handles the responses. And I guess the context is there for passing it down. Yeah, so this basically uses the location set location, and the location is used to get the server responses. Got it. Okay. And then what is the pages index root? Okay, so the root client. So wait a second. Where's the content coming from? What is the root? Oh, read root. So where does this come from? How does it decide which is what is the entry point? Is it always the app? Is that what happens? Like, is it always just, hey, we got this app thing going? Let me just comment this out and comment this out, I guess. Okay. Nope. Still, whoa. I misclicked. Okay, so what is connection closed? What do you mean connection closed? React right. Okay, since it's experimental, the error messages are not exactly helpful right now, but that's not a big deal. I mean, theoretically, I could just kill like this, and I should be able to kill this. And now you should be able to render, right? Okay, fetch. This is cache client. Okay, so cache clients. Oh, right. The API will break because create from fetch. Why is this API location? So what is this? Only absolute URLs are supported. What? Why? There's an endpoint here. Next public endpoint. Oh, I guess, do I have to pass it myself? I have to just say like HTTP. Whoops. Or no, wait, 3000, right? npm run def. I guess that should fix it. Are we working now? There we go. Seems like it's rendering. Code generator has de-optimized the styling. That is perfectly fine. Wait a second. What? Invalid URL. Undefined API nodes. What is happening again now? Where is this coming from? Okay, this is coming from server pages API. Server pages API. You know what? We don't need API, right? So we can... No, not download. Delete this. We can delete this permanently, because we are not using any backend stuff. And now this is, or I guess, do we? Yeah, probably we do need. Ah, man. Okay, that was a mistake. How do I revert that with? Because I haven't actually committed anything, did I? No, I did. Okay. Git checkout heads pages. Right, because I haven't removed the Git folder from it after I cloned it. Okay, correct. So what API do we actually need? Come on, reload this thing. So I assume this is, yeah, so the index is just, hey, here's the session. And it's straightforward. The auth is authentication, so we definitely don't need that, I think. Okay, so this is just the GitHub login, basically. We definitely don't need that. We got nodes. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we need API at all. This libs session, is that something we need, or is that some micro cookie session? Okay, so yes, it seems like we don't actually need any APIs. We don't need Redis is, I guess, used for caching. We do not need, okay, we do need this, apparently. Sendres, we do need this. Session is something we do not need. Pages, and I guess we, okay, so I guess we need only the index, right? I think. Because nodes, okay, so this thing is definitely just get delete. Yeah, okay, so this is just node management, and this is also just node management. Okay, so theoretically we shouldn't need that either. Okay, so we got this index that just sets up this session. Okay, I'm gonna keep that for now. Here's the question. So if I restart that, are you gonna start working? Are you gonna complain about something else? Am I missing something? Okay, blah, blah, blah. Compiling, compiled successfully. Okay. Cannot find import libs session from API index. What do you mean cannot find libs? Oh, did I kill the session? God damn it. I deleted the wrong file. Oh no. Head libs session, right. I mean, do we actually need a session? We do not need a session. That is absolutely true. So that means we don't actually need this API question mark. So yeah, we do need the send res, I guess, right? So kill the session. Okay. Restart that. A lot of removing things. Burak, welcome to the stream. I have no idea what you're saying, my man. So if you could repeat that in English would be, I mean, maybe then I could answer you. Okay, so now we get the blank page and a bunch of server errors, which tell us what? API resolved without sending a response for API/API location. There was no /API path, was there? Cannot read property login of undefined. Okay, so it tries, wait a second. So I guess this is the error in one of the components question mark. So it says cannot read login of undefined in pages API. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, right. So cannot read okay, so is that the problem somewhere here? So we got this send res build. So this is what builds. Oh my god, okay, this file is big and pre-built from somewhere. Okay. Right, so there's our entry point actually. There's the app.server, right? I was just joking, I will follow you. Well, you know, you're more than welcome to follow. But I think that is Turkish language, right? Or something like that. I know English, I know Russian, and I barely know German, and that's basically that covers the languages I know. And of course I know JavaScript. Anyway, coming back to that. So why are you complaining about login of undefined? So where does it, pages API index? Right, so it definitely comes from pages API index. So I guess it's somewhere login. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, right. It tries to access session. That's why it's complaining. Okay, cool. So theoretically, yes, Turkish. Okay, cool. I mean, I've seen it, you know, I've been to Turkey a couple of times and I've seen the way it's written, but it tells me nothing. I just know some of the symbols. React render already exists for console time. What do you mean console time? Where is it even used? Console time and console time. I mean, I don't care about this, honestly. Okay. Are we gonna start rendering about now, or is there more errors there to handle? Reload that. Yeah, there's more errors. Cannot read property login of undefined. Okay. So I guess we should search for login wherever it is used. Okay, so there's auth button. Okay, I guess we need to so let's see what we have here. We actually don't have anything. So this should render as a blank page basically, almost, right? Where's this login thing coming from? Login created by session log. I mean, I guess I could restore the session, but we don't really use it, so I don't see a reason to do that. This is coming from nodes. This is coming from edit. But this passed as a property, and this passed as a property as well, so it's definitely not that. And there's this login over here, which I guess... So, okay, is it because I need to restart the whole thing to rebuild itself? Is that why it's complaining? Come on. Are we running now? No, it still complains. Label React render. Okay, come on. What is this with the console time? Whoops, that is not the right thing. Huh? Okay. Console time. What? Wait, what? Why does it, where is the console time that it uses and why is it, wait, what does React Server Components actually do? React Server Components is basically server-side rendering for component subtrees. So, you know, before you could render on the server side the whole app, but with the server components, you will be able to do the same, but for a specific subtree, be it one component or set of components, which makes it a lot more flexible, basically, for you as a developer to control what is actually rendered. Where is this console time, goddammit? I don't understand where this is coming from. Okay, it's a warning, so that's fine. Cannot log in of undefined. Okay, so there's this login thing again. But it doesn't seem like it actually is accessed anywhere. And the only place it was accessed is here. And there's no more login. So why do you say... Is there other component that's basically baked in to use the session? Is that why... come on. Why do you gotta be like this? Okay, you know what? That seems overly... Right, this demo is a lot more complex than the previous one. So let me just reset everything to the way it was before. I guess I can just do reset hard, right? Yeah, there we go. So what is it? Maybe it's easier to actually just start whatever database it needs. So what does it actually want? Next.js config, is there? Yeah, there's probably a README, right? So it needs a Redis. It needs, you need an end file. Okay, so I need .end file, right? Okay. Okay, why is there no? Anyway, that's our problem. Redis password URL. So you can just say localhost, whatever. What is the Redis ports? Yeah, there is no TLS. Okay, Redis port. Quick start Redis. What is the default port? No, yes, there you go. 6379 is what I want. Okay. Endpoint localhost 3000. Yes, that's fine. That is fine. Okay, so there's actually quite a bunch of. That's fine. I'll just leave it here. I'll skip the OAuth because we don't really care about that. So we need to start the Redis, and I'm just gonna basically add it over here as a Docker command. Docker run -d Redis. And we need to forward the port. Whoops, that was not what I wanted to press. We need this port forwarded. I think, right, probably should name it, name Redis. Okay, and let's call this Redis. All right, so I should be able to do npm run Redis. Sudo service docker start npm run Redis. They should start the Redis, right? And then npm start, npm run dev. This is now basically a regional app with whatever they set up there. I guess the OAuth part with the GitHub is not going to work because the tokens are broken, but there's some API resolved without sending a response type error. Stream get reader is not a function. So there's, okay, so the demo is very rough. Basically, it's also an experimental state, if you would say so. Login to add. Okay, right. So yeah, obviously it's gonna error out if you are trying to add this because I haven't provided all with token, but it actually seems to be working as expected. We can try to tweak the. Let's see, what do we have? We have this node list server component, right? So, okay, so it actually fetches the nodes from the endpoint instead of directly accessing the database, which is actually quite a bit nicer than the default demo, but still we can just do that, which should in theory change the message to a different one. Hey Chris, welcome to the stream. All right, so no nodes created yet. Right, so in theory, if we just say ID1, what was the thing again? Sidebar nodes. There was the updated at. I keep like I probably should have saved this node somewhere. Okay, and then we got the title and we got the body, I think, right? Hello notes. And then body. Obviously, this is like faking everything, but you know what? That's fine. Very long body text over here. Blah, blah. Okay. And if we, okay, again, no hot reloading for server components, which makes perfect sense. Why are you not? Where's my notes? Notes length more than 0, yes. So search text is couldn't find. Yeah, okay. So where's my note? What is going on? I am confused. Do I need to restart the whole app? Is there something to do with the Next.js itself? Does it not recompile correctly the server-side components? You're gonna re-render now? No. Interesting. Node list server. So I'm assuming if I close this, if I go to the app, there is our node list. Yes, correct. And this is our node list, right? Yeah. Why does it not render that way? Okay. Why? Node adds. Okay. Node body. ID title. Yeah, okay. So this seems the node shape we created is correct. Type stream. Okay, maybe this is why it doesn't render, because is this unhandled promise rejection for some reason? So I guess it's basically in a very rough state. I'm not sure how the hell, what? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna revert this back to the original. Yeah, okay. So Next.js demo is a bit finicky, basically. Let's put it this way, which I guess is to be expected, right? Because it's an experimental technology, and let me reset this thing. No, wait, I don't. Let me see. So I do want to do what? I actually do want to reset the components node list. Okay, but I do want to commit my package JSON and git commit add way to start Redis using Docker is basically what I want to add here. Okay. Whoop, cop. The time when I will type my key from the first try is going to be... oh, wait a second. Did I... come on. I think I just committed it to the Next.js server components, right? Yes, I definitely did that. So we need to go here and we need to say git add... Okay, first of all, this package log does not need to be here, and package JSON does not need to be here because there is no package over here. Okay. So let's see, we got the public. Yeah, okay, cool. Git commit add simple Next.js demo. Okay. Well, yeah, it's rough, but it works, which is kind of cool. So let me think. What do I need? I need to add a README file, I guess, and that's basically it. I've checked out everything I wanted. I've also seen that it is very, very rough. A lot rougher than I expected, to be honest. But you know what? That's fine. So we're probably going to see the final release in half a year, if not longer. But I'm nonetheless excited about this tech. When you thought to use the TypeScript. I mean, I tried TypeScript multiple times now, and I tried to use it on multiple projects of different sizes, and every damn time I encounter some very small, very annoying thing that basically requires me to do a workaround, and I hate that. I would absolutely use optional types in JavaScript in some cases, but I just refuse to find TypeScript for, you know, having a nice set of types in some cases where I need them, basically. Seems that the code to be seen by me in the past is the bigger project on YouTube. The code to be seen by me in the past. I mean, if you're talking like there, I've did a couple of streams on GraphQL, if that's what you're talking about. They are on YouTube, so you can just, you know, have a look at the channel and find them in there in history. But this is a different thing. So like we're only looking at the React server components right now. Anyway, I have committed that. I think this is now, yes, this is now correctly shaped. And let us add the README. So guys, while I'm adding README, if you have any questions or suggestions or things you want me to try out now with the server components, now is the time to throw them into the chat. Once I commit and push that, if there's no questions, I'm just basically going to wrap this up and yeah, finish the stream essentially. Okay, let me see the README here. So this is React server components, and I probably should put a link over here. React server components. Where is my article? There we go. Projects, project demos, I guess. We're official and Next.js. We do not need getting started, and we can just put here. So React server components blog post, that is 2 words. Yes, we actually don't need them in here, so I can just put it like this. Okay, and then looks fine. So then we got React server components demo. And then we got React, I guess Next.js demo. Okay, we don't need that. We don't. That is actually. Wait a second. Did I just copy a Versal README? I have a feeling I picked the wrong project to copy this. Wait a second. So this is our web component. No, that's not it. What else can I take? Got this thing, right? Yeah, there you go. That looks correct-ish. Go with that. Okay. Trying out. Yeah, React server components. Okay, this we're going to encode materials for React server components. I need to paste the URL over here. Small an exploration of 2 small demos showing of React server components. Okay, and we need to put that stuff over here. Cool. And then we can just and then there's the Next.js demo. Okay, so I need to copy the links for the demos now, and we are set. All right, so put the demo here, and then Versal server, next server component. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. Looks good. MIT license, everything's, yeah, right. I need the link to the, give me a second. I will have a look at the chat just in a second. Let me just paste the link real quick. Video, there we go. Okay, cool. Close that. Git status, git add, git commit, add basic, readme. Done. Okay, right, I need to push it to the repo right now, and we're basically done. I mean, I'm not sure how useful this code is, because there's not that many changes to the, wait, huh? Oh, right, I think the origin already is there, right? So we should now have it. Come on now. Yep, there we go. Okay, cool. So let me have a look at the chat. What do you think of the server components after looking at the demos? I mean, the thoughts about the tech is the same. It's really awesome that you basically get a more fine-grained control over what is rendered on server and what is rendered on client. Plus, you don't have to care about the code splitting and lazy loading and all that stuff by yourself. And you essentially tell React, hey, here's, suspend this component and then render it on the client whenever you can. Which is freaking mind-blowing when you think about it. So like, I don't know, 5 years ago, doing something like this would be incredibly painful. But yeah, it's obviously in a very rough state. So as I said, I think it will be very good if we see it released in 6 months, but I would probably count on the next year. I might be misjudging it, but yeah, it seems like there's still quite a lot of work to do there. But nonetheless, it's very exciting. Like, it's really, really cool. Did you see the results of State of JS? Well, I mean, I looked at it, but it's like you know, it's, hey, we gathered stuff that has most, oh, wait a second. Is that the survey? Right, okay, I confused it. That was the other thing with the stars. I have not, so I've seen that they released it. I have it basically prepared for the, what do you call it? For the BxJS Weekly. I'm just freezing here. But I have not yet looked at the results. I mean, I assume it doesn't, like, it's probably close to what we had last year. It's like, okay, it's demography, is whatever, syntax. I don't know, what can you... Yes, it's like, yeah, there's some minor percentage changes and people using different, more modern operators, which is obviously expected. Nullish correlating nobody uses because it just came out and is not supported anywhere. Optional chaining, same thing here. It's like, I mean, I guess the technologies is the most interesting thing, but TypeScript is still up there. It's like, see, it's not changes much. It's like, it would be curious to see that in 3-4 years, I guess, when there's like significant shifts in technologies and libraries, because right now I can predict majority of those without even looking, right? It's like, I don't think anything in here is gonna surprise me that much. In 4 years, 5 years, there's probably gonna be a pretty big shift, but for now it's like, yeah, okay, we got the GraphQL, we got Apollo, we got UX, there's probably XState somewhere here as well if you look at the most popular solutions. It's like, whatever. Whatever people say, the JavaScript ecosystem is extremely stable right now, and there's nothing mind-blowing happening in it every day, right? So there's, yeah, Fastify, Nuxt, Nest, whatever. It's fine. Like, it's, I guess, interesting to look at that, especially if you are not that deep into the ecosystem itself and you don't know all of these tools. But as someone who basically worked with majority of them, so I wouldn't say all of them, but I do know about all of them. As someone who worked with majority of them, is like, yeah, this is exactly what I expected, basically. But yeah, all right. I guess that is it from my side, guys. So if you have any questions or suggestions or whatever, now is the time to throw it into the chat. If not, we can just wrap it up here, and I guess that basically covers it. It was a very nice 1-hour stream. I basically looked at everything I wanted to see. Again, I think the demos, or I guess Next.js demo, was in a rougher state than I expected it to be, but that's expected. Experimental technology. But yeah, we'll see how that develops. I am looking forward to checking out the final version of it whenever it is released. But again, you know, not holding my breath, basically. Hey CM, yes, you are late indeed. We are basically wrapping up. Okay. I'll give you a couple more minutes to throw in any questions in the chat if you have any. As usual, you can find the source code on GitHub. If you missed the stream, you can watch the VOD. It's going to be available immediately on YouTube and on Twitch, if that's your thing. You can join our Discord server and chat about any of that or other stuff. You can share your projects, ask for help. You can follow me on Twitter for a variety of tweets and reposts and stuff like this. I'm mostly tweeting about development related things, not necessarily JavaScript lately, but yeah, I think that covers it. So there we go. It was a beautiful life. Well, I'm sure it was a beautiful whatever. There was like 1 minute that you joined here, but you know what? You can always rewatch the VOD. Maybe I even did something useful. Who knows? Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you for your continued support. Have an awesome rest of the week, and I see you on Saturday for BxJS Weekly.